Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to another Genshin Impact video, and happy Halloween to each and every one of you. Hope you're having a good one. I want to take a few minutes of your time to talk about the Labyrinth Warriors event and discuss some positives and some negatives about the event and my general opinion on it as a difficult event to say the least. But before we jump into that, like the video, subscribe, and ring the notification bell to stay notified of when I upload. It would really mean a lot to me to get to 400 subscribers, and I really appreciate everyone who has. Thank you so much. But into the video now. So Labyrinth Warriors, in my opinion, quickly before we even start, is my favorite event in the game so far. But over my time of recording and uploading my runs through it, I've read comments saying it's super hard, people aren't enjoying the event, and I thought, okay, cool. So there's a positive and a negative side to it, and I can see both of them. I can see both of the sides, and I'll talk about the positive side first. Now for me, I've got a list of positive stuff. So number one is it rewards the players very justly. If you can do the whole event, and keyword if you can do it, you can actually get a lot of good rewards along the lines of talent level up materials, a lot of primo gems, heroes wit here and there, and then obviously the crown, which is the king of rewards for a Genshin Impact player. So on a reward basis, it is very good. Another positive for it is the general concept that the event is. This event follows the concept of it being a dungeon crawler, looter, shooter, along the lines of games like Hades, Risk of Rain, Binding of Isaac, and many more, where it's a randomly generated map that you explore infinitely or procedurally, depending on how long or whatever stages there are. You explore it and you deal with difficult enemies, scaling higher and higher. The general concept is very well designed and really well thought out and implemented to an extent, obviously. And this kind of concept needed to be added a long time ago, and I'm kind of grateful that it's being added now, as I believe this could really save the end game for Genshin. So that is a massive tick in the positive box for me personally. This next point is a bit controversial though. It is good scaling. This is very balanced content. I've read a lot of comments saying that it's very difficult and very hard, and I can't do it, I'm struggling. And whilst I understand that that is a thing that happens, from my own personal experience, I also struggled on the final one, the final challenge on my Asian account, but on my American account, I didn't struggle. Here's why, is because my American account is optimized to the T. Characters like my Kazuha, my Hu Tao, all my characters are optimized to a T. I've crowned them and they all have level 9 skills. My Taitaglia has a level 9 skill. They're all like that, and they've all got very well built artifacts and everything like that. Level 20, they're max level weapons as well. I've built my team to deal high amounts of damage, and that's why I can get through the content. And in a lot of the comments, especially a few of them, people are saying that, you know, they can't do the content, but they've got also just not that great of a built team. Well, that's the reason, is because you don't have a well-built team. That's why you can't do the content, because whilst it is an event and I believe everyone should be a part of it, everyone should be able to complete it, you have to put in some amount of effort. And if you're not willing to put in the 100% in trying to get the game to be as fluid for you as possible, then I don't feel personally on a level that you should be rewarded justly. I feel like if you don't put in the maximum effort, you shouldn't be able to get the maximum rewards. And that's why I believe the scaling is done really well, and it really solidified that when my Asian account couldn't do it, which is, it's good, I have good characters on there, but they're not optimized to the T, they're not 10 out of 10 crispy clean. Whilst this account, my American one, I love playing. It has great characters and great synergy with characters. And the final positive I have is talking about the potential of it being future content. Like I mentioned earlier, is that this content has potential to save the end game for Genshin Impact. I believe a lot of streamers and YouTubers have said something along those lines, where it has potential to be implemented and be exponentially scaling and infinitely scaling to the point where players can go in there, do a run, and just fight enemies infinitely, doing high amounts of damage, scaling higher and higher, getting buffs, dealing with better enemies, harder enemies, different combos of enemies, and it could be an enjoyable experience for endgame players specifically. Obviously, I believe that this should be rewarded justly, but that's neither here nor there. I just think that this has high potential to be good endgame content. Now, moving on to the negatives though, these are a bit opinionated and are kind of, you know, they can be positives and can be negatives, but the first one here is a time investment. Doing this event specifically talking about the event, it is a time investment. It's about a 20 to 30 minute time investment per domain. and if you don't have that much time, you can stop it and then continue it later on, but you might be out of your mojo, you might, you know, mess up, you know, let's say you fall out of rhythm, you get out of the zone, and then you're not good on the second time. But in a general speaking, you will have to spend at least 20 to 30 minutes in total doing one run, and that can be viewed as a positive, you know, that's something I can do, or that can be viewed as a negative, like, oh crap, I have to dedicate this much time to it, what do I do? But for me, I think it's a positive, but I put in the negative section because I think universally it's used as a negative. But that's whatever. Another negative for me personally, and this is something that I experienced throughout the runs, is the actual enemy design hurts the domain itself, or hurts the event itself. And what I mean specifically by that is that certain enemies and certain mobs just aren't fun to verse on repeat, and when you're versing them at such high HP thresholds, it's not really fun at all. Specifically referencing the Rift Hounds and the Spectres, they have a ridiculous amount of HP for what they are, and they're not fun to verse in any way. The Rift Hounds moving like crazy, and the Spectres flying into the air, and if you're a full melee team, you can't kill them. So it's very frustrating, and that really does stem from the actual enemy design, not really the domain, but it is a contributing factor because it is specifically in the domain that it's annoying, because this is really one of the only areas we can encounter enemies above level 90. And this last negative might sound a bit presumptuous of me or uptight of me, but the last domain not really giving rewards I don't think was a good idea. You didn't really give players an incentive to do anything. There's no kind of status symbol that you really get. I guess you do get the whole thing of saying that you completed it and showing the whole what's your highest floor completed to. I guess that's cool and all, but having maybe like Hero's Wit and Mora, or maybe like 30 Primos connected to it would have been sufficient enough in my opinion. Anything really, just being given anything would have been nice, because this was about a 30 to 40 minute time, maybe not 40, but about a 30-minute time investment doing this whole run. So getting anything out of it would have been nice, but, you know, that's neither here nor there. That's kind of an uptight answer because, you know, endgame player expecting something of the game, yada, yada, yada. But it is what it is. Overall, my thoughts on the event are, it's a phenomenal event. I really am super satisfied with the event. I enjoyed every second of it, getting different upgrades, getting different constellations with the upgrades, and getting different things like attack speed, raw damage increase, a constellation increase, movement speed increase, attack speed, everything like that. It was all phenomenal, and I think if they expand upon the event will become the most popular thing in the game, and really carry the end game. That's been my final verdict on it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like, and also consider subscribing, and also comment down below what you thought of the event, objectively speaking. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Was it difficult? Was it easy? Tell me about it. I want to hear about it. Leave a comment. But anyway, thank you for watching. Have an amazing day, and I'll see you in the next one, and happy Halloween.